The world is filled with incredible places that can leave you in awe the moment you see them in person. These travel destinations aren't just beautiful, they leave you with unforgettable experiences that stay with you for a lifetime. From the vast dunes of the Sahara Desert to the dramatic limestone cliffs of the Phi Phi Islands, here are the 10 places to see before you die. Make sure to subscribe to Discovery Destination for more travel videos like this. 10. Sigiriya Rock Fortress. Sigiriya, also called Lion Rock, rises high above the flat plains of Sri Lanka's central province. This giant column of granite is one of the country's most famous landmarks, and climbing it takes you through layers of history and natural beauty. Your journey starts at the Water Gardens, where pools, fountains, and moats show the advanced engineering skills of the ancient builders. Walking through them gives you an early look at how much planning went into creating a royal space. As you leave the Water Gardens behind, the paths shift into the Boulder Gardens. This part feels more rugged, with massive rocks spread across the area. From here, the climb takes you toward one of Sigiriya's most famous features, the frescoes. Painted on a rock wall, these colorful images of women, often called the Sigiriya damsels, remain a striking example of ancient art. Not far from the frescoes is the mirror wall. Centuries ago, it was polished so well that it reflected like glass. Today, it's covered in writings left by people long ago, giving you a glimpse into their thoughts as they passed along the same path. As you continue upward, the climb brings you to the lion's paws. These huge stone carvings guard the way to the upper level of the fortress. Standing at this platform, you see the remains of what was once a giant lion structure that gave the rock its name. After making your way back down, the Sigiriya Archaeological Museum adds even more context to your visit. Artifacts, scale models, and detailed displays explain the history and significance of the fortress. Beyond the main fortress, the surrounding area offers other experiences worth exploring, like Pidurangala Rock, which provides a different climb. At the top, you get one of the best views of Sigiriya itself, especially during sunrise or sunset, when the light makes the rock stand out against the plains. For a quieter setting, Ritigala Forest Monastery is another strong choice, sitting deep in the forest. Here, stone pathways, meditation platforms, and scattered ruins create an atmosphere of calm. By the way, my Travel on a Dime ebook shows you how to travel more for less. I'll share more about it later. 9. Lake Bled. Lake Bled is located in northwestern Slovenia, surrounded by the Julian Alps, making the whole area stand out right away. The island is the most recognized part of the lake, where you can ride a traditional wooden pletna boat, rowed by a standing oarsman, which feels like a part of the experience itself. Once you arrive, a stone staircase with 99 steps leads you up to the Church of the Assumption, where you can ring the wishing bell inside. Looking above the lake, Bled Castle rises from a high cliff. This fortress is the oldest castle in Slovenia, and walking through its grounds shows how it protected the region over the centuries. Inside, the museum explains the area's past, while the printing shop and forge lets you see traditional craftsmanship up close. Not far from the castle, Vingar Gorge gives you a closer look at Slovenia's natural beauty. The Radovna River cuts through the gorge, and wooden walkways guide you across cliffs and along rapids. At the end of the trail, the Shum waterfall drops into a pool, and the sound of water fills the narrow canyon as you walk back through. If you want the classic view of Lake Bled, the hikes to Ojstrica and Mala Osojnica are the best places to go. Both are short but steep climbs on the western side of the lake. At the top, you see the island, the castle, and the Alps. Now, I know you're getting excited about all these amazing places to visit, but if you're eager to travel the world to explore new locations, cultures, foods, and much more, while taking a breather from your everyday life, you also know it can cost you quite a lot of money. With the Travel on a Dime ebook, you have the opportunity to make the most out of any place you visit without overspending on your travel budget. From finding the right flights and hotel deals to money-saving tips during your trip, it's the perfect guide to help you travel like a pro, ensuring you have a great experience while saving hundreds of dollars on travel. Get your copy at thediscoverydestination.com. That's thediscoverydestination.com. Use code DISCOVER5 to save $5 off your copy. 8. Eiffel Tower. The Eiffel Tower stands on the Champ de Mars along the Seine River. As you walk through this part of the left bank, the iron structure rises above the city and sets the stage for everything you're about to experience. The first stop is the tower's lower level. Here, you can test your nerves by stepping across a glass floor that lets you look straight down to the ground. Moving upward, the second floor quickly becomes the highlight. From here, Paris stretches out in every direction, and you can clearly spot the city's landmarks. At the summit, the city opens up completely. An elevator brings you to the top deck, where the rooftops and boulevards seem endless. After seeing the views, you might want to enjoy a meal without leaving the tower. On the first floor, Madame Brasserie serves modern French dining surrounded by wide windows and city views. As evening comes, the tower puts on its most famous display. Every night from dusk until 1 in the morning, thousands of golden lights sparkle across the iron frame for 5 minutes at the start of each hour. 7. Sahara Desert. The Sahara Desert in Morocco stretches across the southern border with Algeria. This vast desert is shaped by towering dunes and rocky plains. Two main dune areas draw most travelers, Chebi and the more remote Chigaga. Chebi is the easiest to reach and the most well-known. The dunes here rise hundreds of feet high and glow in shades of gold as the sun changes position in the sky. The nearby village of Merzouga acts as a starting point for your desert experience. From here, you can ride a camel across the dunes and spend the night in the traditional Berber tent or a modern desert camp. Moving toward the southwest, Chigaga offers a very different desert experience. Unlike Chebi, reaching these dunes requires a long off-road trip across rocky plains and dry riverbeds. Along the way to Chigaga, the Skura Oasis adds a surprising contrast to the dry desert. Walking through the oasis shows you how life has thrived in this environment for centuries. The desert also holds unexpected details like fossil beds, which are found in parts of the Sahara, showing that the land was once covered by sea millions of years ago. 6. Table Mountain. Table Mountain rises above Cape Town with its flat top shaping the city's most recognizable view. It forms part of the Cape Peninsula and connects with Devil's Peak, Lion's Head, and Signal Hill, creating a natural amphitheater. The Table Mountain Aerial Cableway is the most well-known way to reach the summit. The rotating cable car gives you wide views of the city. The open space on the summit makes it easy to wander and take in the views from different angles. Hiking is another way to reach the top, and each route has its own character. Platteklip Gorge is the most direct path, a steep climb with rocky steps that lead straight to the summit. Skeleton Gorge offers a cooler hike through shaded forest, streams, and waterfalls before reaching the plateau. India Venster is more challenging, with some scrambling across rocks. Once on the summit, you can continue across the plateau to Maclear's Beacon. This stone cairn marks the highest point of Table Mountain and gives you a wide view of the area. On the eastern slopes, Kirstenbosch National Botanical Garden connects directly to the mountain. This UNESCO World Heritage Site is part of the Cape Floral Kingdom, one of the most diverse plant regions in the world. The garden is filled with unique plants like proteus and finbows, and the tree canopy walkway, known as the boomslang, lets you walk above the treetops. Moving beyond the main routes, the mountain also has quieter and less crowded areas, like the Tranquility Cracks in the 12 Apostles Range, which is a hidden hike that takes you through narrow fissures and rocky passages. Weinberg Cave is another feature worth exploring, with its deep crack running alongside a small valley, showing the geological side of the mountain. The Waterworks Museum adds another layer of interest to the mountain. Located along the slopes, this small museum holds machinery and equipment that once supplied Cape Town's water. 5. Milford Sound. Milford Sound, known by its Maori name, Piopiotaki, is a fjord located in the southwest of New Zealand's South Island. Surrounded by towering peaks and steep cliffs that rise straight from the water, the fjord is one of the most dramatic natural areas in the country. It's also the only fjord in New Zealand that you can reach by road, traveling along the scenic Milford Road, which makes the journey itself part of the experience. When you arrive, Mitra Peak rises above the water with a shape that is instantly recognizable. A cruise is the most popular way to see Milford Sound, and once you're on the water, the scale of the place becomes clear. Sheer cliffs surround you, and the boat takes you past formations with names like the Elephant and the Lion. Waterfalls are a highlight, and the boat edges close to Stirling Falls, so you can feel the spray of its icy water. Bowen Falls is another sight worth experiencing, and a small boat ride lets you reach it directly from the pier. For a change of pace, the Milford Track is an option that lets you explore on foot. Known worldwide as one of the most beautiful walks, the full track takes several days. A shorter day walk to Giant Gate Falls brings you along a forested trail and ends at a waterfall that pours into a clear pool below. Alongside the well-known attractions, there are hidden gems to enjoy, like the Milford Sound Swing, that's become a favorite spot to sit and take in the view of Mitra Peak. While it's no longer a secret, the swing offers a relaxed and playful way to enjoy one of the best perspectives of the fjord. 4. Machu Picchu. Machu Picchu rises high in the mountains of southern Peru, surrounded by steep ridges and deep valleys. Built by the Incas, this citadel shows their skill in both architecture and engineering. The main site is set on a saddle between two peaks, Machu Picchu, meaning Old Peak, and Huayna Picchu, meaning New Peak. From here, the views of the surrounding mountains and river valley stretch far in every direction. The main citadel is the first area you explore, filled with stone buildings, open courtyards, and terraces built into the mountainside. Walking between the structures gives you a sense of how life once moved through the city. The detail in the stonework and the way the terraces hug the slopes show just how carefully everything was designed. Moving further into the site, the Temple of the Sun draws attention with its curved walls and aligned windows, showing how the Incas connected their buildings to the movement of the sun. During the summer solstice, the light shines directly through its windows, making this place one of the most important in the city. Close by, the Intihuatana stone, known as the hitching post of the sun, stands on a raised platform. This carved pillar helped track the seasons and guided farming and rituals, showing the role the sun played in daily life. The Temple of the Three Windows is another highlight, with its large trapezoidal windows facing the sun and are thought to symbolize Inca legends about the origins of their people. This area feels both practical and symbolic, as if it carried meaning beyond its simple design. When you look upward, Huayna Picchu towers above the citadel. Ancient stairways carved into the rock lead you to the top, where more Inca buildings still stand. If you prefer a quieter but equally demanding trail, Machu Picchu Mountain offers another climb. At its summit, you see the ruins from an even higher angle, with a different view of the valley and surrounding ridges. The Sun Gate, known as Inti Punku, is another point of interest. It once marked the main entrance to the citadel for travelers arriving along the Inca Trail. At sunrise, the first light spreads across the citadel from this point, creating a view that connects the ruins with the natural cycle of daybreak. Machu Picchu has several areas that feel more hidden, like the Temple of the Moon. Built into a natural cave, this sanctuary features carved stonework and a quiet setting that hints at rituals once performed here. Closer to the main ruins, the Inca Bridge shows a different side of Inca design. The narrow path is carved into a sheer cliff, with a wooden plank bridge placed across the gap. Meanwhile, the royal tomb sits tucked into the mountain. With its fine carvings and design, this cave was likely reserved for ceremonies or burials of important figures. 3. Phi Phi Islands. The Phi Phi Islands sit between Phuket and the Andaman Sea coast in Thailand. These islands are known for their soaring limestone cliffs, clear turquoise water, and soft sandy beaches. Out of the 6 islands that make up the group, Koh Phi Phi Don is where people live, while Koh Phi Phi Leh is uninhabited but draws attention for its raw beauty. One of the most well-known spots is Maya Bay on Koh Phi Phi Leh. Surrounded by tall cliffs and lined with white sand, the bay looks striking from the moment you arrive. Here, you can still walk along the shore and take in the view. Not far from Maya Bay is Pile Lagoon. This lagoon is almost fully enclosed by cliffs, and its calm green water makes it one of the best places to stop during a boat trip. Many tours allow you to jump straight into the water, and the swim feels peaceful and refreshing. Back on Koh Phi Phi Don, the main island, you can hike to the Phi Phi viewpoint. The trail is steep but short, and when you reach the top, you're rewarded with a wide view of the island. From here, you see Tonsai Bay and Lo Dalum Bay, stretching out on both sides, connected by a thin line of sand. Moving outward, Bamboo Island, also called Koh Mai Pai, offers something very different. This small island is flat and ringed by white sand that circles the shoreline. The water here is exceptionally clear, making it perfect for swimming and snorkeling. On a boat ride around Koh Phi Phi Leh, you'll notice Viking Cave near the base of a high limestone wall. The cave is known for old wall paintings that look like longships, which is why it got its name. Alongside the famous locations, you can also find smaller places like Lo Lana Bay on Koh Phi Phi Don, which is one example. You can reach it by taking about an hour-long hike that also passes by the viewpoints. Another place worth reaching is Nui Beach, a small cove that sits on the northern side of Koh Phi Phi Don. Once you arrive, you'll find calm water, soft sand, and great snorkeling, where you can see plenty of marine life. Lo Mudi, on the eastern side of Koh Phi Phi Don, is a quieter beach, giving you a peaceful stretch of sand to enjoy. For something more adventurous, Shark Point is a place where you can snorkel or dive with blacktip reef sharks. These sharks are harmless, and watching them glide through the water adds to the experience. It's one of the most unique places to explore underwater around the islands. South of Koh Phi Phi Leh, you'll find the Bida Islands, which are known for their dive sites, with coral reefs that are full of life. Divers often spot reef sharks, colorful fish, and sometimes even sea turtles, making it one of the best areas to experience the underwater world of the Phi Phi Islands. 2. Mount Fuji. Mount Fuji rises high above the land of Honshu, making it the tallest mountain in Japan. The area around the mountain is part of Fuji Hakone-Izu National Park, and it's surrounded by natural features that give you many different ways to enjoy it. Climbing Mount Fuji is the most well-known way to experience the mountain. The official climbing season runs from early July to early September, when the weather is safest. Several trails lead to the summit, with the Yoshida Trail being the most popular because it has more huts and facilities along the way. Many people start the hike at night to reach the peak by sunrise, a moment called Goraiko. Watching the first light spread across the horizon from the summit is something many describe as unforgettable. At the base of the mountain, the Fuji 5 Lakes region spreads out, giving you some of the best views of Mount Fuji from different angles, like Lake Kawaguchi, which is the most visited. Here, you can ride the Mount Fuji panoramic ropeway for sweeping views, walk through Oishi Park where colorful flowers frame the mountain, or rent paddle boats to relax on the water. Not far away is Lake Yamanaka, which is larger and less crowded, known for boating. If you're lucky, you might see the phenomenon called Diamond Fuji when the sun sets directly behind the peak. One of the most photographed scenes in Japan is at the Chureito Pagoda. It sits inside Arakura Sengen Park and requires climbing several hundred steps. But from the viewing platform, you get a clear sight of the 5-story pagoda with Mount Fuji rising behind it. A short distance away, Oshino Hakai shows a more traditional side of life. This small village is built around 8 crystal-clear ponds, filled with melted snow from the mountain. Walking through, you see thatched-roofed cottages, wooden bridges, and water wheels moving slowly in the streams. You can even taste the spring water, which is some of the purest in the area. If you prefer nature at its most unusual, Aokigahara Forest stretches across the base of Mount Fuji. This dense forest is sometimes called the Sea of Trees, and walking inside feels quiet because the volcanic ground absorbs sound. Paths lead you deeper into the canopy, and some trails connect to lava caves formed long ago by eruptions. The Narusawa Ice Cave keeps its frozen pillars all year, while the Fugaku Wind Cave has a constant cool breeze, making it a refreshing stop even in summer. Waterfalls also play a role in the scenery around Mount Fuji. Shiraito Falls spreads out in thin white streams that fall like silk threads over a wide rock face, while Otodomi Falls crashes down with far more force, giving you 2 very different displays of water within a short walk of each other. In Fujinomiya, you can visit Mount Fuji World Heritage Center with its spiral design that lets you walk upward while learning about the history, culture, and geology of the mountain. At the top, you step out to an observation deck where the view of Fuji is open. Not far from here, Wakutamaika Pond flows with sacred spring water. For centuries, pilgrims came here to purify themselves before climbing the mountain. 1. Colosseum. The Colosseum, also known as the Flavian Amphitheater, stands in the center of Rome. It is the largest amphitheater ever built and remains the biggest standing structure of its kind in the world. Walking inside, you immediately sense the scale of this place that once held crowds of tens of thousands. One of the most striking areas is the arena floor. Standing here gives you a direct view of the massive seating tiers, while also letting you understand what gladiators once saw when they faced both wild animals and human opponents. Below the arena lies the Hypogeum, a network of tunnels and chambers that served as the backstage of the amphitheater. This is where gladiators waited. Animals were kept in cages, and stagehands managed the lifts and pulleys that brought them into the arena. As you move upward, the seating galleries show the social structure of ancient Rome. The lower levels were set aside for emperors and high officials, while the upper seats were reserved for ordinary people, including women and slaves. If you're looking for any tips to enhance your own personal travel and help you manage your travel budget more effectively, click the link in the description. And remember to like and subscribe to help our channel grow.